Mississippi, southwest. I'm sort of uh, moving fast through here, so it's just going to be a bit of a blur because it's like so busy around here, and I don't really want to be a part of the action so much. Now I considered that Walmart, and I'm currently in a Walmart parking lot right now, and I'm getting good Wi-Fi. Oh, there's Zap. Yeah, welcome to the live stream, Zap. I bought this selfie light so I could have better selfies, but it's so bright. I have it. Well, I have it facing the roof. If I faced it down, it's too bright, especially in this parking lot. All I want is a faint. So without oops, let me turn that off a second. All right. It's got several different colors. But yeah, without the light, I really don't even need it. It just kind of brightens up the right side. Getting gotta have my selfie light. The Walmart where that black black lady was shot. She was holding a Walmart employee hostage, and she got shot to death in Richland. But I don't think so. I've changed my mind now. So I just want to go straight south. That would require me from where I'm at to go east too much, and I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna just pass by the east side of Jackson, Mississippi. Something over the light to make it. Well, no, I just gotta face it. I face it the other way. So that's the difference. If it's really dark, it blinds me. It's only a partial darkness. And yeah, there's a little bit of light. It's more useful. I think what I want to do is use my selfie light for cops. Okay. So maybe this would be perfect. I put this on my camera. Wait a second. I got my other camera. So when I have my next night cop interaction, I'll have my selfie light ready to go. If they're not easy to see, then I'll get it attached to say this phone. This is my old S9. I've recorded quite a few cops on, but I've been recording most of the recent cops on the S20. But yeah, I could put it underneath and then face it, and yeah, I don't want to draw too much attention to myself. Let's see. How about this one? Oh, I can't even see it. So I'll be trying to save the selfie light for cop interactions when it's too dark out. There's been moments. There's been issues with night cops where people don't really want to watch night cops when it's so dark. They can't see anything. I might have the best rhetoric, but if they can't see what's happening, then it doesn't get as popular. I'm trying to blind them with my selfie light. I'll warn them. I'll even announce, hey, I have a selfie light I'm gonna turn on. And I won't point it. Well, I kind of point it at their face a little bit. But yeah, this is the selfie light, and it's not absolutely necessary in this Walmart parking lot right now. This is a pretty lit up parking lot. Got good Wi-Fi. Oh, Jack Polder's sick. Okay. Maybe he'll go into more detail with that. Maybe he can make a vlog. Maybe he can go live and talk about his sickness. But yeah, I'm moving along. The most important thing for colds is staying warm and drinking plenty of water. Warm water. That way you warm up your insides with warm water. Plenty of warmth and plenty of water. And it's kind of ideal to have nice clean water too. Sickness is those times where having the extra clean water is pretty decent. Some old videos you could see all the way through the back of your car. Yeah, I covered up the back window because I was tired of the lights through my oh, lights would shine right through my car. Yeah, you can see back there. I've changed out the covering kind of recently in the past month or two. That go back to, yeah, how about some red, green? Maybe I can show more of the back. I got my sticks. I like this one. Oh wait, it changes color. I like it when it stays red. Just stay red like it's a cop. There's also the full red too. Maybe I'll stick with, yeah, stick with the full red. There we go. The red lights. Oh, no, it flashes. And I gotta figure out how long it lasts. But it, on a full charge, it certainly can last long enough for a cop interaction. Looks very cozy in this car. I'm doing okay. I can spread out. I got my straps on the roof to stretch out my neck and my arms. It's pretty decent. And everything, all this stuff is, all my food, I'm actually starting to eat it down because I'm able to keep better track of it on the roof. And yeah, I mean, I was having a problem with buying extra food because I couldn't find, like, say, my potato flakes, and now I'm not buying extra food that I don't need that sits in my car, and some has actually expired sitting in my car so long. I'm managing it better with being able to find it, having it all on display. And that's one thing I did eat today was 5% milk fats with some potato flakes. How often do I shower? Maybe 2 times a year. So over 10 years, if I shower 2 times a year, that's 20 times in 10 years. So yeah, my heart was giving me a little trouble from 5% milk fat, and I've had problems with high fats yogurt too. I was looking for the 2%. It's like if I eat all the egg yolks in every egg, I get heart problems. If I eat the 5% or the high fats yogurts, I get heart problems. Because it's just like I'm taking in too much in a short period of time. I can sit. Yeah, I see that I'm cutting in and out, so this Walmart isn't the best. I'm not, and it's just like it could be inches in a lot of ways for this connection too. Inches can make the difference from left to right, front to back, up to down. I'm three spaces away. If I parked 2 spaces over, maybe I'll do this. Maybe this angle the angle of the phone seems to also be a factor. But if I move once, I can move one space over, but if I move two spaces over, I'll be in handicapped. So, yeah, you can see the front here. I won't really turn it much, but that's the Walmart. But yeah, I'm just taking advantage of this decent Walmart connection, and it's kind of rare to have decent Walmart connections. Plain yogurt with no salt. I disagree with salt. Tastes like Geiner without stinking. Yeah, I'm happy with the yogurt. I bought this. Yeah, I bought this food jar so I can fit a whole thing of yogurt in here to help it last a little bit longer in this heat. I'm trying to prepare for the heat now, so I'm trying to protect my yogurt because I'm not getting milk anymore. I think what was giving me the burp, I think my burping is permanent, but what's caused long-term, what's caused my burping in the beginning was the milk and fruits. And in a late 90 camper van, man, it's in the 80s here. That's why I'm heading north and I'm not taking my time. I'm moving kind of fast. Because, I mean, this is kind of an unusual heat wave, but I don't see any end in sight, at least for the next week. I'm pretty confident the weather's going to come back down for a little bit longer, but for the next week in the 80s, I'm not going to put up with that. It was kind of the amount of milk, but it was also, you never combine milk with fruits together. I was trying to make like an ice cream, and that was a mistake. Even some lady who likes to discuss health topics said that it's not a good idea to mix milk and fruits together, and that was inspirational. That was like a breakthrough for me. I was trying to figure it out. Was it I was trying to isolate my problems, so just cutting out. I separated milk and fruits, but still milk was still causing me problems. So I've cut out milk, and I'll have the fruits. I throw fruits in my gallon container and add water. That's it. No milk. Just I'll add water with my frozen fruit and drink that down, and that seems to be better. I still got a burping problem, but the burping is not getting stuck. So let's see. You got 2 feet of snow in Utah. How does Utah get so much snow? That's crazy. This is what scares me. I'm scared of moving north too fast because it's like 80s here, 20s in Wisconsin, and so in between there's something going on. Fat is bad for the pancreas. Yeah, there's a lot of pancreas problems, pancreatic cancer that people are suffering from. I'm definitely concerned about that. A banner snow year? You got a lot of snow. See, yeah, Utah is not known for having much moisture. It's definitely desert. Yeah, less clouds. I'm in areas where there's more clouds, but still it gets pretty sunny. More tree cover. The greatest snow on Earth? Yeah, I suppose 2 feet in Utah is remarkable. A tree fell. I almost got hit by 2 falling branches in 2 separate times. One time earlier today, I was walking on this wooden bridge south of here, and tree branch fell like 20 seconds after I passed by. It was a pretty good sized tree. It would have knocked me out. And then later, just a little bit later, a tree fell on my car. I parked under a bad tree. The Olympics in 2002. Yeah, I walked around that Olympic Center area around Salt Lake City. They made a lot of buildings to support the Olympics. Yes, skiing. Yeah, that's early. That's an early age. That was at age 8. That was back when my feet could fit in ice skates. But my mom gave me bad ice skates anyway. I wasn't able to figure it out. I only got one time. My mom took me and my sisters out one time to an ice skating rink to try skating. And I don't know, I had bad fitting skates, and that was it. That was the only experience I had with ice skating. And now my feet are just too big for that, so it's good. It's better that I didn't try to make that a habit as a young age, because 16.6E ice skates are not out there. Yeah, I'm moving north and kind of slowly, but I don't want to push it because yep, yeah, me and my mom don't have the best relationship. I need the red light. There's a red light. Yep, me and my mom don't have the best relationship. I don't talk to her. She sometimes messages me on Instagram. I don't know, the last one was a picture of my two sisters when they were young. She just kind of sent a picture of my two sisters when they were like, I don't know, 5 years old, or maybe 3 years old. And that was in response to me telling my sisters that I'm never going to talk to them again. And I made sure I told them individually too, on Facebook. And one was like fine by me, and the other was like, I don't know, she was non-responsive. Somebody shot a squirrel at age 8. Yeah, that's pretty young. Yeah, I never really never did any serious hunting at age 8. That's pretty early on in life. To learn how to handle guns. There's houses on tall stilts. Yeah, isn't that something? On the coast of Louisiana, they have to build their houses 20 feet high. But apparently the highest house is, or the highest flooding only went up 8 feet high. But I mean, we're talking, what about waves? You got to think about waves. Okay, that's like on calm waters, the flooding was 8 feet. But when waves come in, that probably caused issues. So having an 8-foot house is not acceptable. And there's quite a few abandoned 8-foot houses along the Gulf Coast. There's a snowstorm in Wisconsin, and South Wisconsin, I believe, that you're located. So that's, yeah, and I'm 1,000 miles from Rice Lake, Wisconsin, and it's 80s here. It got up to 82, and it's I mean, 68 tonight. It's gonna be balmy for me because I sweat a lot, and I need to drink a lot. I'm constantly worried about running out of water. But I talked to a librarian lady today who is a black lady, and there was a sign on the water fountain that said, "Do not drink the water." But you push the button and it works. So I had to ask her what the deal was. Is it because the water's bad? Because I was at a library in Louisiana, and I tried to drink it a little bit, and it tasted like a swamp. I was scared. I thought I was going to get sick. I asked the librarian about it. She said there's rocks in the water. That was in South Louisiana. So they had a water. They buy their water in the bottles. So I just got that one. So it concerns me when they put signs that say "Do not drink the water." So I asked this lady, and that was, what city was that? Let me consult with my map. I'm moving so fast, I'm kind of losing track of the cities. Oh, there I am. Okay, Crystal Springs. So yeah, that library in Crystal Springs, Mississippi, has a sign that says "Do not drink the water." And I asked her about it. No, the graveyard shouldn't affect the water. I think the graveyards are built above ground, so it can't seep into the ground. So I asked her about it. She's like, she didn't know how the water was. She was like, I don't drink the water. I don't drink the water. It's like, what? That's great. That's amazing. And that's something that I've long suspected, that black people can handle not drinking. They can go without water a lot longer than me. I will die of dehydration well before a black person. I get sunburnt. I dehydrate faster. It's a very different priority in life. All right, what's important to you is different from what's important to other people. And there's a huge difference between me and her. All right, I could never say I don't drink water. Okay, but if she's getting enough water from the food she eats or something. She doesn't carry around a water bottle like me, clinging to it for any moment you feel thirsty. She doesn't have that problem. But I hear that that she could be risking the kidney disease. There's kind of a kidney disease issue that can affect people who may not drink enough water. They're maybe putting more pressure on their kidneys because they're not drinking a lot. But yeah, that's an advantage for this South. She's doing great. She doesn't need to worry about the sun. Doesn't need to worry about the water. So this is perfect conditions for her. Whereas, I'm afraid to stick around here in the summertime. I don't want to be here for any court case in Natchitoches in the summertime. I need that push to the winter. I can't be dealing with the heat. I can't sleep in this car when it's over 85 degrees. I got a fan running right now. I'm struggling a little bit. The fans bring some relief. My son is very health conscious. He always gets after me to drink more water. He refuses to drink soda. Yeah, health conscious is there's some really good advice on Instagram. There are some amazing people. Go to watch Dan Goal, some Korean guy who's just insightful on health topics. He's given all the secrets away. It's amazing his views. Your son should subscribe to some of these guys. I really appreciate what this Dan Goal says about fitness and diet. And I mean, I don't drink coffee, but this new thought process about waiting an hour in the morning, just drink water, wait an hour before you start drinking coffee, because there's systems going on. You got a little bit of adrenaline to burn off in the early mornings. You don't need to just start chugging coffee right when you wake up. Wait an hour. It's like advice it's amazing. The Instagram has changed for me. It's more about I'm getting a lot of feeds in my Instagram about health topics, because I've looked up a lot of health topic stuff that I've suffered from, and I think it's Instagram where I got the advice: do not mix milk and fruits together, have them separate. So there's people out there who want to give those types of advices. Oop. How do you spell Dan Go? There you go. Yeah, Dan Go. But he's called something else too. Let's see if I can. He is the most. I love Koreans. The way they think. I mean, it's. I have had problems with Koreans from Korea, but I mean, geez, they're it's really the benefits that they from their insightful thinking is it's kind of worth the trouble. But I mean, I don't have to be close friends with Koreans. Just Dan, I don't know, it's something like Dan Go. I don't think it's gonna be Dan Founder, yeah. So he's also called Dan Founder. But I mean, there's other guys. Personal trainers are now going on to Instagram. I mean, maybe they've been doing it for a few years now. I've just been discovering it in the past year. Personal trainers, they're not holding back on their advice on Instagram now. I think in the beginnings of Instagram, personal trainers were holding back. They wanted to maybe give the advice directly to you, but now social media has put pressure on them, where other people were breaking down and saying, "Oh, that's it. I'm just going to start giving all my advice on Instagram or YouTube or just social media, whatever, maybe Twitter, but sort of TikTok, but Instagram, all those health conscious people, they're giving their advice on Instagram, and they're not holding back. They're just like, whatever, because the competition's too fierce for them. Although they like to say that the only reason that you're not successful is because you're not marketing yourself good enough. Let's see, whole powdered milk is what they go for a bum like me. Yeah, I did powdered milk for a while, but I'm done with that. Powdered potatoes, sure, but powdered milk is pushing it for me. There's personal trainer sunflower, getting people fit at the Gold's Gym. Gold's Gym personal trainers. Yeah, that's you got to sell yourself doing it. At Gold's Gym, they expect real fit people to look up to, people that they want to resonate. They want to imitate and resonate. Oh man. Yeah, all my money that I earn now has to go to fighting Natchitoches. I'm facing another trial over my ID. I'm facing a court-martial. I'm facing an indictment from a grand jury. Three big things, all while I'm waiting on this Louisiana State Supreme Court to make their decision. And the Louisiana State Supreme Court can either send me back to the wolves and say, "Oh, we're not going to hear this, whatever," or they could say, "Case dismissed," and everything goes away practically, because I'm not returning to Louisiana if I don't have to. Louisiana State Supreme Court can either make these 3 charges worse for me and make me go through them, or they could pretty much end it all and just say case dismissed. All right, it's really everything's on the line, and I'm holding back on my I'm trying to hold back on my spending to save up for to defend myself. I may have to drop my lawyer. I may have to try to get a free lawyer. But I'm going to try to save up and see what I can afford for, a couple of maybe a potential new case on top of this current case that's been going on for over an hour, or over a year. I got a case that I've been keeping alive. It was nearly dead. I mean, it was down to the last 3 days in jail. Judge Jalsley tried to really slip in 30 days. He was pretty confident that I would go 30 days in jail without finding a lawyer from jail. And I slipped in I was able to slip in right at the last 3 days, so that I gave the appeals court something to work with. If I had filled out those last 3 days, then the Supreme Court would have questioned, what are we doing? You know, why are you appealing? You know, your sentence is finished. You know, there's nothing to appeal. But I'm facing a court-martial. Is it court-martial? Contempt of court? Court-martial? Oh, that's military stuff, huh? No, I meant contempt of court. It's practically militaristic. Man, I bet the JMC or the UCMJ, the United Code of Military Justice, I bet the Louisiana's trying to be as similar to the UCMJ as they can. They want to turn that police state into a military state. So, yeah. You can't handle the truth! But yeah, it's a contempt of court. I get those mixed up. That's probably not something that you should confuse, huh? Contempt of court or a court-martial? What is a court-martial exactly? I think it's military. Man, it's been a while. I was only a cop. I only got paid to put people in jail. From there, I didn't know what happened. Just like a lot of the cops in every city probably have for experience. They only know how to put people in jail. They don't know how it works afterward. There's a whole nother process besides street justice, which, you know, I'm trying to make people aware of. See, except Jesus. No, I worship many gods. I respect all the gods and their different personalities. Is that part of the reason you exchange IDs? What part of the reason? Court-martial is empowered to determine the guilt of members of the armed forces subject to military law, and if the defendant is found guilty, to decide upon punishment. Yeah, court-martial. Okay, yeah, it's exclusively in the military. So there's only one God. Which God is which God is the one God? People have different perceptions, so I gotta respect everybody's perception of God. Which there's a lot of different perceptions, so I gotta respect all the different gods that people have perspectives of. I'm not getting any wars over a God. I'm definitely getting a war over my civil rights. I'm willing to fight over my civil rights. I'm not even trying to sue them. I'm just I'm putting all this effort in, all this $20,000 and counting. I should have a counter for how much money I'm pouring into my defense. Just a defense. Not even going after them for anything. They're putting me into a bad position financially. They're setting me back to the old days when I had a lot less money. Back when Officer McDonald, something like McDonald in Idaho, Horseshoe Springs, Idaho, Horseshoe Bend, Idaho. He put me in. He arrested me and towed my car, and I had to pay $300 to get my car out of the tow yard. because I wasn't clever enough to find the keys on the truck. But I paid $300 and I only had $600 in my savings accounts. I was really strained, and he just strained me a lot more, cutting my savings in half like that. And I was really under stress. I was like, okay, no spending any money, cutting back on food, go to the food banks, drive as little as possible. And then that was when the alternator was going out too, and I had to replace that. It was really a scary time. And Louisiana is making sure that, I mean, apparently this grand jury thing is not even Clyde Benjamin's, is not likely to be done by Clyde Benjamin. They want to have a big shot state attorney prosecute me for that, for witness tampering. And I'll be happy to see all that evidence, because it's easy to get the grand jury to go along with you. So that's something to watch out for. It's going to be a surprise, but I mean, how much of a surprise can it be to me while I'm out of Louisiana? They have to surprise me when I go back in. But even then, still, it should be announced, to make it an honest run. Not just, well, they do that to people though sometimes. They'll just give you a surprise. They'll keep this little secret arrest warrant that the public doesn't know about until they execute it. Don't answer questions about your finances. I'm poor. I'm broke. Well, I mean, I'll be broke. I'm saving my money for my legal defense. I'm six cop stops away from my next arrest, so I need to save up money for fighting Natchitoches still, and then my next arrest is coming up. I'm sure I'm gonna get the next bad cop just arrest me out of the blue for nothing. On average, at least 1 out of 25. So I want to be prepared for that too. I'm gonna need bail money for that. Whichever state that happens. I already have now 1 cop stop in Mississippi. I could put a new state on my YouTube channel, on my my playlist. I can put Missouri. I can put Mississippi on my playlist now. A new state with one cop stop, 1 official cop stop. Finances sing romance songs. There's going to be a reaping for a soul. So, yeah, I just kind of getting along. I'm still alive, so I take it day by day. I mean, I'm not trying to be ambitious. I'm just trying to get all charges off of me, get people to leave me alone, so I can go about my merry way, looking at things that seem interesting. And I find things interesting all over the place. It's interesting to see this area so far south of my hometown, and see the differences and similarities. It's pretty neat. There's a coast south of Rice Lake, Wisconsin called the Gulf Coast, and I checked it out a little bit, sort of. Got an idea of what's going on, and the lifestyles are different. They don't grow sugar cane in Wisconsin. They don't grow rice and then crawfish in the rice fields in Wisconsin. That's different. There's crayfish in Wisconsin, but they could actually have crayfish farms in the rice fields. It's quite different. Straight south. And that's part of the reason why I chose Barksdale Air Force Base in Shreveport, was because I was curious about the South. I've been told it's the armpit of the country, and I mean, yeah, it's true, but it's still so unique and interesting too. I spent less than a year on the base. I didn't really do much for exploration. around the base. I just kind of was back and forth to work to keeping the base secure. That was what I was focused on, because they demanded a lot of my time. They required a lot of my time, so I didn't really have a lot of spare time. Now I got a lot of spare time. It's like that's my whole way of living, is just by having all this spare time and trying to figure out what to do with it. Settle somewhere, go back to my sister. Yeah, see, these are thoughts from people who they're very homebound, or home dwellers, people who just want to stay at home or have just gotten too comfortable sitting at home. I got comfortable for a while and I was depressed, but I didn't know what to do about it. Yeah, the homebound thing is kind of crazy now that I've been able to travel around a little bit. It's not easy to travel still, but it's not something I'm interested in. Going back to the same place day in and day out every day. I mean, what do you? Doesn't that get depressing? That's a lot of depression right there, just staying in the same place. This is a new Walmart for me. I'm looking forward to sleeping here tonight. Completely new Walmart. Going further north to a library. I'm looking for libraries that have a nice study room, because I'm paying $20 a month for this natural readers to use their voices, and I only want to pay a month, but it looks like I might have to pay for 2 months, just because I'm having a lot of difficulty finding libraries. I got enough of the trial written up where I can do at least an hour's worth of the trial. I'm about 60 pages in on a 700 page trial, and so there's a lot to it, and I think it's fascinating, and I really want to voice act it. So I want to voice act myself, and then I want to use the natural readers. I tried to recruit a fan to be a voice actor, but he said he doesn't have a good voice, so whatever. But I just need to find a place to be able to use a study room so I can do the voice acting stuff. It's not always easy. I actually had to sneak in a quiet room in one of the libraries. There's a quiet room that was like enclosed, and the door was closed. It was all enclosed, so they couldn't hear me. Nobody else was in that room, so I just started using that as my study room, and I got most of the hearing number 3 or 4 completed in the quiet room. And that make sure I went early in the morning to do that one. That was and I was sitting there just trying to speed through the dialogue, just because I didn't know. And somebody did walk in, and then I had to stop. And then when I stopped, then I just went right to editing. I started editing the voices, pretty much cutting it down. Serial killer. I could become a serial killer. Yep, I can go around killing people left and right at my whim. I could be watching people to see who looks vulnerable or not. I have some instincts for that, so I could watch people and gauge who looks like I could maybe get away with it a little bit easier. I've found spots that look like could be pretty good hiding spots, but it's pretty amazing the places people go. Mushroom hunters and hunters, they'll slip into places that I think might be good hiding places for a body, but they'll discover it. They'll discover there's some places you have a good chance of not of being able to leave a body for a long time. And who is this guy who's just talking about this? Valeria, I don't like you. Okay, I just want to make that clear. I don't like you. So that's your warning. Now I got a headlight on my face. That's good enough. But yeah, it's good Wi-Fi here. I'm just trying to think about what I want to do. I have a good idea. It's just I'm just a little just anxious to find somewhere to do this script for the cop channel. I have nothing else to add to that cop channel. I don't know. I just want to redo the I just want to redo this trial. I want to recreate it. And you know, I'm thinking that it'll be funny to me as I do I'll call her Rosa, the librarian. Rosa I'm gonna use a kind of I'm gonna use a nice feminine voice for her. All right, but when we get to the point where we play her 911 call, I think it'll just be funny to hear her actual voice, because we're gonna play it. You know, I'm gonna try to make this as similar to the trial as I can. So I'm gonna use an AI voice for her for the trial as I'm questioning her, and then when we go to the 911 call, it'll be her real voice, and I just think it'll be kind of amusing to hear that difference. So, and that'll happen also for her interview too. Just I'll play that, because we sat right through the we've sat right through her interview with the cops, and I want to play that too. Just I'll sit there and put in a little small picture-in-picture and just play it. And yeah, that's the plan, just to play around with it, something to do for my cop channel. I have no other insights to offer. It looks like I'll be probably pretty clear for a while with any cop stops. It's unpredictable, but I'm pretty confident I'll be left alone. I now have a new secret weapon for the night cops. Not only will I be putting this out. See, this thing doesn't pick up night very well. This GoPro Max. I'm not happy with the nighttime. I should, at night, when I talked to that one cop at night who said I was blacked out, I should have reached for my 10 or my 11. I should have reached for the 11. All right, the 11 has a better night vision. I'm under a little pressure just to get any camera up. Are you chatting from so I can mark my map? Oh, where am I again? Let's see. I'm at the Walmart in... Let's see. It's south of Jackson. No, not... Okay. Let me get it updated. Okay, it's this weird sound in it. Oh, I needed to... I'm trying to mark where I'm at better for my vlogs. Byram, B-Y-R-A-M. Whoop. Okay. Yeah, so B-Y-R-A, yeah, Byram, some small town that's got a Walmart. It's probably that's the thing, between here and Memphis, I need to get an oil change for this car. My next oil change is 123,000 miles, and I'm almost there. And they haven't left in days, and maybe bang on the window and wake. Yeah, it's like cops really can't take notes of a car that's been sitting for a while. They don't measure by days, they measure a car parked by hours, pretty much. You've been here 3 hours. I need to check on you. Especially if it's a spot that maybe they don't see people parked at very often, and they see somebody there for hours, blacked out, because they don't have any street lights. But yeah, that's Louisiana. I don't have a clue what Mississippi ID laws are. I'm gonna find out the hard way. I already had that first interaction, and he didn't even ask for my ID. I should have offered, hey, you want to exchange IDs? You know, but I didn't want to delay getting out of there. I kind of wanted to leave. If I'm gonna get pushed out, I was kind of anticipating possible game anyway happening at that softball park. Stickers of travel give idea. Can't wait to see live leak. Yeah, there was a live leak. There used to be a live leak at one time. I guess I could always come back, huh? It's not full. It's not like completely banned, but if you're a website that's been put on the blacklist by all the libraries, pretty much 90% of the libraries, maybe 80%, 85% of the libraries, your website's probably not going to do so well in the long run. But there are some websites that can do really good, but they're like exclusively websites that are banned from libraries, like OnlyFans. I don't think a single library allows OnlyFans. I've been seeing a lot more warnings at libraries about watching pornography. So there's actually posted signs. And in the past 2 libraries I was at, they don't allow laptops past a certain point in the library, which is heading towards the children's section. So they have warnings about bringing laptops close to the children's section, and warnings about pornography. So I asked what the deal is. The first library, I was told not to bring my laptop past a certain point, and I was able to talk to the library director, and she said it was because it's his children's area. They don't want children seeing what's on your screen. You could shock children with more than just pornography. It could also be just something very, very, very scary or something. You said you got rid of your Google number. Yeah, my Google number is done, I think. I didn't try to get a new Google number. Why did I get that first Google number? It was 715-257-0034. And now Google is warning me for a couple months that they're gonna to stop it, and now it's done. And I think, well, no, I don't know why I got it's to get an account for something, I think. But I don't really call anyway. I don't call anybody. Great to see you. Greetings from Canada. If you ever come this way, yeah, I might try to slip in into Canada through Wisconsin or the northern Michigan. I'd really like to get into Canada in the summertime, but I think, well, I don't know what their demands are for getting in. COVID's probably not an issue now for getting across the border, but now I got other issues like documentation. I don't know what they demand from that. You got to have really tight documentation to be able to cross the border. To get into Canada, or I don't know which way it's tighter, to get into Canada or back into the US. It seems so unlikely that I would be stuck in Canada as an American, though. Canada still got a COVID block? Wow. Well, that's too bad. I'm gonna get as far north as I can. but not, yeah, but not for a while. Well, I mean, why we ceded Canada in the first place to the British, I don't know. We should be invading Canada, not supporting Ukraine, all worried about Ukraine's border. Why don't we expand our own border into Canada and just open up the border for Mexico? Let them come in. Have a nice super highway that connects the tip of South America to the tip of Alaska. That would be fun. All along the west coast, just have a super highway. Instead we got to have all these borders. All those criminals are in pockets. They group up in pockets. They wouldn't criminals only are successful in their groups in certain areas. The Sinaloa gang, they can't just they're no, I don't know. They're not like the Mongolians, so they just spread across the country, unchecked, unstoppable force of criminals spreading across the country. If we open up the border, like the Mongols take over or something, I just have a hard time believing that could happen. Yeah, I don't know how you got to go on the water to get to Alaska. There's parts of Minnesota that the only way to get to is by water or through Canada. It's a small part in the northern part of Minnesota. Yeah, I need some kind of all I have are knives. I don't have any bangy explosive. And there's a lot more gunfire in the southern area. I'm hearing more gunfire. That sounds like it's unresponsible. I believe I'm hearing irresponsible gunfire in some of these cities through South Louisiana, into Mississippi. Wow. Somebody has an M60 mounted on their roof. Those M60s aren't the most reliable. You might want to consider a more updated weapon. But I mean, now that it's not in the military anymore, I think they've kind of phased the M60s out. So I suppose the civilian market is able to take them. You think all gunfire is irresponsible? Yeah, I don't know about that. Guns have really shaped the way the humans have advanced. You can't just take back that type of technology. It's so heavily supported. There's hobbits. Yeah, so I'm moving north at a slow pace. This area, yeah, this little half of the parking lot in Walmart, it's not too bad. It's settled down. The last Walmart I was at was quiet, really quiet. Inside on the parking lots, I like those. I've been to some Walmarts that just get packed until it's after 10, right? Oh, it's only 8. Even up to 10 o'clock, the Walmarts stay packed in some cities. But some, around here are pretty quiet. I'd like to see the list of the Walmarts that are going out, that are closing down permanently. But maybe they're not disclosing that to the public. I'd like to get an idea of what Walmarts to expect to close. 150 Walmarts are supposed to close. Sometimes it's fighting chance. Yeah, guns level the playing field. So yeah, but I mean, it depends on the situation too. I've been learning about what's been happening. I've looked up as I've been traveling through. I haven't really, engaged with the locals or really looked around a whole lot. I didn't make any serious blogs. But in Hazelhurst, I looked up Hazelhurst, south of here now, and there was a situation where not UPS, FedEx, a FedEx truck driver who was black, was driving his own van, or just a unmarked van, delivering, and a guy thought that, a white man who's in his 50s thought that this black van driver was casing the place or stealing from a house. So he goes into the middle of the road with a shotgun or some kind of rifle and points it at this FedEx driver and tells him to stop. But the FedEx driver just drives around him, aggressively drives around him, gets away. But he was shot at as he was driving away. So I'm guessing there's bullet holes on this van, but I haven't seen that. And that was in Hazelhurst. So nothing happened. No investigation occurred. Not like Arbery, the guy who was killed by the two white people. It took 8 months, and the Black Panthers got involved. And there is a video 8 months old. The Black Panthers doing a little protest rally in Hazelhurst, south of Jackson, Mississippi. And it was interesting to see that how they gathered. I think the cameraman was a white guy. He asked questions of this leader, Ahmed. Yeah, Ahmed. This is a similar situation to Ahmed, but the FedEx driver didn't get killed. But it took 8 months for an investigation to happen because, and the police chief is black, so when that happens, then they have to take a step back. Everybody has to take a step back and ask, is this a racial thing? No, it's a power thing. It's who's in the positions of power. It's not completely a racial thing. But the Black Panthers were getting recorded, and they wanted it. I think they like practically hired this guy. He was a real good pretty good cameraman, getting all the angles and stuff. And they're doing a rally, going to the city hall and trying to talk to the city attorney, try to talk to the mayor, but they all skipped town. They all had meetings outside of town for some reason on that day in Hazelhurst, because they had these spontaneous meetings outside of town because the Black Panthers showed up with openly carrying rifles. But there was a couple of videos of their engagement. Apparently the leader, he came from out of town. I think a lot of the Black Panther members came from out of town, and they were specifically addressing this incident where the FedEx driver, a young black man in his 20s, was getting shot at just because a neighbor thought that he was stealing because he was driving an unmarked truck that FedEx rented. So the Black Panthers found this to be a worthy cause to stand behind. Where are my Black Panthers? They're not coming out for me in Natchitoches. This is in Mississippi. I haven't really heard about Black Panthers in Louisiana. That might be a little bit tougher to pull off as an organization. Louisiana the Black Panthers probably in jail at Angola, the famous prison. They might be all in there because, my God, you listen to my prosecutor. He's flat out said on my first hearing that if this was anybody in the audience who made these calls to the librarians, the city hall, the police station, the courthouse, everybody, if it was anybody in this crowd, you'd all be locked up. But, protesting from outside the city is really a safe bet. When you got a prosecutor saying he just lock you up for making a call. So that's taking a serious stance. So if the Black Panthers tried to come to Natchitoches, they'd all be locked up by Clyde Benjamin. He would stack them as high as he could in a cell. A dad died in Virginia, in the VA, in Nat Jackson on Valentine. That's fairly recent. How old was your dad? Face diaper. I don't blend in the South. Yeah, I'm not trying to blend. I'm not trying to change my accent. When I was 19, in 1995, I sort of developed an accent after staying in Shreveport for 7-8 months before I went to Okinawa, Japan. Yeah. Death is always coming for us. I'm just trying to feel good, trying to feel healthy, but sometimes I have my moments. Start a religious militia, the Branch Dravidians. Yeah, religion, I think, I'd like to incorporate religion into diet. I'd like to say that all sugar extractors are working for the devil. Okay, Whole Foods is godliness. Overprocessed sugar extracted foods are made by the devil. I'd start a diet religion, because I think that's the groundwork for good healthy living right there. I'm just making Jackson connections. Little baby, did something? Corn syrup denier. Yeah, and I mean, I went through the sugarcane fields. I saw those. That's interesting. It's more of a mechanical processing. I don't know what foods have sugarcane extracts in them. They've gotten priced out. During the 1950s corn subsidies, I mean, the government favored corn over sugarcane. So, I mean, I thought the sugarcane market got obliterated, but it's still alive and well in the south part of Louisiana. They're still doing the sugarcane stuff. And why, sugarcane, corn and sugarcane, they seem kind of. What do the corn farmers do with their corn stalks? Sugarcane farmers just burn their sugarcane bushes or stalks, the canes. Once they're done extracting the cane, they burn it. You can see clouds of smoke on Google Maps in the area. But I mean, why don't corn farmers do that? Why don't they burn their corn stalks too? Sugarcane farmers get away with it. That it makes me think, makes me wonder. I don't know enough about farming. It seems like the only fields that get set afire are sugarcane fields. That's all I'm familiar with. Cows eat corn stalks? Seems a little fibrous. So, the music, yeah, the music I've noticed in cities, they've really there's a blues museum. I was just at a tomato museum today in the last city. The last city I was at was Crystal Springs. Crystal Springs uh, developed early on. Their early development of Crystal Springs was reliant on tomato production. They had tomato centers because the trains went through there and transported tomatoes, a lot of tomatoes. And apparently the first festival started in 1858, because I was just at the museum. So I'm like, that's during slavery times, but the lady there said that there really wasn't slavery in the tomato fields. There was definitely slavery in the sugarcane fields. They were mass murdering anybody who protested the conditions. But tomato fields, cotton fields, we hear about that. Tomato fields? There's different farming fields out there. But this lady said that a black family lived on her property in the 1950s with her when she was 5 years old. She's 71 now. When she was 5 years old, and up to 5 years old, her family left this farm in Crystal Springs and moved into town. But a black family lived with them. They weren't slaves in the 1950s, but the black family lived with them on their property, and when they were on the farm. Oh, there's a cop. Okay, there's another cop. Might be an issue with theft. Pulling in. They usually pull in. They're pulling in kind of fast, two of them together. But usually they would just pull right up and get out quick. They would have been out of their cars by now if it was something going on in the store. They're taking a right and moving on. Okay. Patrolling the parking lots, I guess. I enjoy being a veteran brother. Yep, I'm a veteran, and there's you gotta tell each other if you're a veteran or not, because it can't always be assumed. Can't always assume somebody's a veteran. And when somebody, and even in the very low probability, the very low chance that somebody's lying about being a veteran, oh, there's a third cop. But they don't seem to be interested in inside the store. Now he's turning early. Taking a right down the parking lots, and they're more interested in what's going in the parking lots. Oh, one's got his lights on. And that happened to me yesterday in Crystal Springs. So one's got his lights on. I'll zoom in a little bit. You can kind of see some blue lights. 3 cop cars. They've just surrounded somebody. This is a perfect time to put up my drone. And well, they don't really have the big... One has kind of a flashing blue light. Can't really see well. And I could walk over there, but I'm kind of lazy. Turn on my scanner. Yeah, that's possible. I'll turn it on, and I need to type in the zip code, so we'll see what's going on here. So they have 3 cars, and they've got a triangle formation. But I don't know if they really stopped anybody. They just seem focused on... If I got there closer, then I could see. Let's see. What's the zip code for this? No, not there. Okay, yeah, for that. Because I shouldn't get any... So this is going to go through twice. Man. Zip services, yes. 39272. 9272. 39272, yes. So, I would be curious if Jackson blocks, if they encrypt, does Jackson encrypt? Because I may not get anything. So, this is what I'm scanning. Entergy, look at how long it takes for Entergy. Man. What I need to focus on is just only the cops. I think that's Mississippi Wireless integrated. In my experience. Yeah, Entergy takes like 5 seconds. That's 5 seconds of calls. I think it's Mississippi Wireless.
Residential burglar alarm, along with unique complaint at 505 Birdie Cove. 505 Birdie Cove. We had the alarm company calling in a general motion at this residence, but then you also had a...
Whoops. I just lost it because I tried to adjust the volume. Yeah, that's police. Mississippi Wireless Integrated Network. Might be just police. I want to avoid that Entergy. That's pretty annoying. Left their shopping cart 10 feet from the cart. Oh, that happens a lot. Yeah, carts are left all kinds of weird places. So these cops are very interested in something, some car towards the back end of the parking lot. And I mean, I can't make up. I'm so far away, I can't make out what's going on. I do have binoculars. I've zoomed in as close as I can. Oh, let me turn this off. Wow. And now, can I put binoculars over the lens? This is not easy. Yeah, maybe it's not going to be so good. Okay.
32 55 South Furnace Road. This is going to be an American Legion. We're being advised there's a white male on scene asking for help, advising someone's trying to kill him. To give no further.
Yeah, I can't. It's so tricky. Oh, they're leaving already. It's a quick stop. One's leaving. Leave their lights on. That's what happened to me in Crystal Springs, though. There was a cop car that followed me into... a cop car followed me into the Walmart parking lot, turned his lights on as they were behind me. I thought I was getting pulled over. It seemed like it was doing a mix of like private security or just messing around. I'm not sure which. So one cop pulled back. Okay, so that was probably a shoplifter who got out into the parking lot, and the cops made sure to stop him before they could leave the parking lot. And now that one cop is going into the store to check what Walmart has for video and evidence, confirm that evidence. But yeah, I got a really spotty windshield, not in the best of shape. I'm not even sure. Is it Mississippi Wireless for all the cops? Mississippi Wireless, because that's what I'm sticking with. It's a solid orange, so I just stick with that so I don't go through Entergy's. All Entergy's worthless channels. I need to permanently block Entergy. focus on just the cop stuff. Because that's 5 seconds. Running through it takes away from any kind of quick transmission. So obviously in Jackson, Mississippi.
922 out of transportation. Yeah.
So that, you know, you gotta, you find out kind of the hard way if they encrypt or not. And it sounds like Jackson does not encrypt, which is pretty cool. Someone, yeah, the cart pusher's walking towards me. 2 cart pushers. So this was pretty much a theft at the store. They got 3 cops on it. 2 to, you know, they were all ready to chase them down, but they didn't run. Cops were stopped them before they could leave the parking lot. Yeah. Kind of a bold move by the criminal. If you know that it is true that they did steal anything, there should be a pretty good chance. But I mean, the Walmart will take down innocent people too in the effort to catch the real thieves. I definitely was a victim of false accusation by Walmart. Don't spend the night in Jackson. Oh, definitely not. I will not.
Where's your dispatch?
I want to keep my distance.
Engine 1, go ahead.
I'll be.
Show us and Sanford making service. We'll refuse it.
Reservoir fire. So I don't want that.
Crestbound Design Road, 66.
Copia County Sheriff.
23 is the traffic. 10-4. 13 is us. New Zion Road and Summer Route 66.
10-4. Yeah, so this criminal, or if they are criminals, or they didn't try to run. And wow, go to the Walmart in Madison, stay the night. Madison, Wisconsin? Madtown? Yeah, this is a
cool. McAfee.
Huh? This is an extra large Walmart.
McAfee. Want to give a spelling? MICHAELMCADEMCADE. You have to pin on that. Michael McAfee, September 20th, 2006.
September 20th, 2006.
Can you spell your last name, sir? MCADEE.
Oh, that's the actual guy.
Yes, well, thank you.
Actually, the cop had the guy talk on the radio and spell his name.
44-2.
Forestry?
Go ahead, 44-2. You show me back to my standby this time.
Yeah, this is pretty far south. Yeah, I think the heat has influenced the way that they speak.
Show the stadium overflow Farmers Market by CAD secure for the night. Show the T6 out on work.
UNC Campus Police. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to change the way I talk for the region I'm in. Just stick with same whatever accent I got at the time. I think weather influences how I speak a little bit. When it's cold and I'm shivering, my accent adjusts to that condition. Talk slower when you're sick, faster when you're full of energy. You talk more forcefully. Athletes have a way of talking more forcefully, like you know, they got so much force in their breathing. I definitely talk different while I'm trying to talk as I'm bicycling. There's different ways that the accents kind of come out. Accents for the region, accents for your condition, accents for the climate, whatever maybe your level of rest. Yeah, town to town, you gotta evaluate the town itself. They're not, you can't just visit one town and compare and say that's how it is in all other towns. One town can be completely opposite from the next. South, north, wherever. Yeah, this is an area, Jackson. This is part of this is Civil War battleground, I believe. They lost the Civil War. They put up quite a fight too. It's a bitter fight. They live differently down here. They can grow different crops. Yeah, I noticed Owsley said y'all a lot, and Owsley also likes to say the right to. I want to look when I'm done with the trial transcripts. I want to search for the right to, because he said that a lot too. The prosecution has.
HBO, the rest of your traffic was unclear.
The prosecution has the right to. The police have the right to.
30.
It's just like everybody has a right to in a lot of cases. And I just want to reevaluate where he said that, because that's a pretty powerful statement to make. The prosecution has the right to see evidence.
30.
The police have a right to. That cop is coming on over here. Keeping his lights on too. Only blue. Now red.
Home license.
No, nothing. Now red again, but that's because he hit the. So that was pretty easy. They caught the person, and well, they're just going back in service.
1410 HBO.
That's like State Highway Patrol or something. I think. I should have looked. Man, I was so focused on recording that I didn't even look to see the side. Big orange star on the side of their car. You have the right to, the prosecutor has the right to, I have the right to file my own motion. The witnesses have a right to privacy. There's all kinds of the right tos. I just want to condense all of that to see what all people have the right to. I just, that was a big part of me going through this process without a lawyer, is because I wanted to learn what his problem was. I wanted to learn what his problem was directly, because I don't learn that using a lawyer. I have to learn through my lawyer, which is not as educating. But I mean, it's more of a punishment to learn directly yourself. But But you can learn a lot more too. At the end of my lesson, I was sentenced to 30 days in jail. That was my certification of completion, was 30 days in jail. Man, there's a lot left with Owsley. We're just getting started back up. This is all starting back up again, with a vacated conviction and everything starting all over again. But we're all waiting on the state Supreme Court. I'm waiting on if this really happened, if the grand jury listened to witness intimidation arguments, does the grand jury want to see me prosecuted? And the grand jury could be a bit of a joke. They just kind of rubber stamp for the prosecutors, and they'll joke about it. They'll laugh about what they do and the grand jury. These people only get paid $50 a day. I mean, that's pretty good money actually for me, but still, I would think they're probably pulling businessmen, people who make more than 50 a day. They get paid $50 a day to be on a grand jury, and they listen to the prosecutor's complaints and try to decide if the prosecutor should be allowed to continue with their persecution of whoever they got in their targets. On target. And I might be on the target, but I was listening to the talk about Donald Trump. There was a grand jury for Donald Trump's documents, and one of the ladies on the grand jury talked to somebody on CNN. So that's I think recent. Some lady who was on the grand jury listening to arguments to look for ways to charge Donald Trump. She was laughing about it, saying that there's, I don't know, something like there's more than enough evidence or something. Oh, Lisa knows.
85 was Sierra Papa Charlie 2619 SPC 2619 at B Pit Stop. What's it called, bro?
Rankin County, Richland Police. Yeah, it's the voodoo stuff is more in the southern Louisiana. I stopped at a grocery store that sells little voodoo dolls. They're like those little pop dolls that Walmart sells. Yeah, the voodoo stuff, I don't know. It's pretty much it's in the parts of Louisiana that flood the highest. But
Romeo Alpha November 7441. Romeo Alpha November 7441. What's the expiration on this 20th?
1 of 24 should be on the Nissan Altima Silver and Gold.
So yeah, Donald Trump's facing a lot. I'm straight east of Natchitoches right now, I believe. Natchitoches is straight west of Jackson, Mississippi. But I'll be getting north. I'll be getting north of Natchitoches tomorrow, I think. Just a little bit. Take a little jumps here and there. But outside of Louisiana.
Actually, you go ahead and put me on 156.
Just passing by. Oh yeah, Owsley encouraged being criticized. He said, you can criticize me. You can ask me anything you want, but don't ask the librarians nothing. Don't talk to the librarians, talk to me, the elected official.
211-743.
Okay, where's
211-743.
Where can I find a copy of the Constitution, Judge Arsley? That's my question. If you don't want me to ask the librarian, how about I ask you? Where's a good copy of the Constitution so I may read that?
Copy, what are you leaving the scene now? Copy 23-2, dispatch clear. 23-2, go ahead.
Yeah, he said that. I'm here all day. at one of the hearings, the first hearing, I think. So that was the last cop. Now they all finished up. There could be somebody in the back of their car. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just a little fine in Mississippi. I don't know my rights. I don't know the ID law in Mississippi. So I already got challenged by a cop the first time, and there was no ID issues there. But when ID issues do come up, I'm sure they will if I have another cop stop. I really don't know. In Mississippi, I've gotten so familiar with Louisiana law, and now I'm in Mississippi. What good does it do me? That's why I have to take a step back and just fall back on the national approach to ID laws. The federal law about ID about our Fourth Amendment rights. So I'm going to be going through quite a few states. I don't even know my own home state, Wisconsin. What's the ID law there exactly? I'm not too familiar with it. Unless I get charged, usually I don't learn it. I don't pay attention. I just fall back on Fourth Amendment stuff. Yeah, my heart when I started out bicycling, my heart was giving me a little trouble. Mississippi. Yeah, I just I don't know what to think of my health condition exactly. I'm doing more squats. I was getting pretty bad. My legs were getting really weak. My legs were getting so weak that I was getting knee pains from the outer knee was, the outer muscle was pulling on the knee more than the inner muscle. The inner muscle of my knee was weakening to the point where I was getting knee pain. I let that happen. Bicycling by itself gave some relief. Walking gave no relief. Walking made things worse in a lot of ways. I couldn't even walk up hills. My left knee was so bad. And then I start doing the squats with the sticks. And drastically, I'm able to exercise the inner part of the leg and start pulling the kneecap back in and fix that. But every time I do squats, I breathe a little heavier, so I want to do that a lot more often, because that's pretty important. I'm getting blood flow to the legs. I haven't worked the legs in a long time, letting them get weaker and letting my knees hurt more, just suffering with it because I didn't know what to do. But bicycling helped a little bit, but it wasn't satisfying. The sticks are satisfying. They've changed everything for me. I can't just squat. I mean, it felt like maybe when I was trying to learn this my knee pain better, keeping my heels together and squatting seemed like it was helping, but I needed to use the sticks to guide that movement better, to hit the inner part of the knee. Buddy, you saved your life in Iraq is from Jackson. Saved your life in Iraq, man. You must have been. You got put in some. The military, your commanders put you into some dangerous situations to have to be saving each other's lives. I mainly when I was in Kuwait. I wasn't in Iraq. What are Saudi Arabia? I just stayed on the base. Nice and safe on the base. We were kind of targets, but still we were targets that were formidable. not actually go out into the cities and patrol. That's insane. Have to watch your backs. Chinook was shot down. Yeah, when you're out in the cities and stuff, patrolling, you're out there actually patrolling in the community, their communities. That's, yeah. That's a different approach. When you don't believe that their own local police force can handle the to handle the complaints, to handle the crime. Patrolling, what? Yeah, we haven't sent a single soldier over to the Russian war. But we could definitely send soldiers over to the. We sent soldiers to Iraq. But we just send money and equipment over to. I don't know why I can't think of the city name or the country name for some reason. It's probably getting. I've probably been on here too long. I'm sitting in this fixed position for too long. I should probably I gotta straighten my back out and all that. I think I'm gonna stop this. Yeah, it's Ukraine. I'm gonna stop this. Thanks for visiting.